I'm here with Russel from Sony London, or London Studios, and before we go into anything else, I just want your response on the slot-in you had at E3 when you were to present the game the first time, because you had all these kinds of insane action games and everything, and here's Wonderbook, a really special and unique product that you had to introduce to your audience to adjust in blood and gore. How was that?
I think it was interesting because what we really wanted to achieve by that was, to me, gaming is really relevant to families, so why would you not be at the world's, one of the world's biggest events, showing the world that there are different experiences around PlayStation 3 and for the family.
Okay. But this is a fairy tale book, and before I sat down with it the first time, I really didn't know what to expect. And what first caught my attention was that we have seen the whole thing about augmented reality before, and most everyone of us in the press have also tried it. But I was really surprised how well it worked with the fairy tale setting, and especially with minded towards kids. Was that something that you guys really focused on?
So we've really focused on the technology over the years. If you imagine, we started in iToy days on PS2, and we've continued to develop that technology. We learned a lot by working with iPad, and we've taken that technology forward. But I think when you come in to start to have something as tangible as a book, and you can actually start to place objects on it that you can interact and touch, it kind of takes AR to another level where it becomes a thing that you can actually feel. And I think also for children and for adults as well, it helps make you make that leap of sort of disbelief, and you start to actually role play in that. And that's a very different type of experience. You are actually in the game. You're not necessarily taking on a role of a character. You're actually in the game and part of it.
And how cool was it to come up with ideas like you're able to turn the book and actually see a 3D model of the little theater that's going on, that's telling a story, and all these really neat ideas where you can add to the story that's being told. That must have been both a huge challenge, but also really fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I mean, we've been working on Wonderbook, I have, for 3 years, and a large chunk of that was experimenting and trying things out, see how things work. So trying with kids as well. So a lot of the early prototypes we created, we actually made books of, and then actually got the kids to interact. And some of those didn't have any interaction in. They just had things like, what happens when the kids see a character around the side of a building? Do they turn it? What do they do then? What happens when they see things come out of the book? And we started to build up a bank of sort of mechanics, if you like. And if you look into the Book of Spells, you'll see some of our early prototype work is in there, and there's a lot of work as well that's coming through in Dig's Nightcrawler and with the Walking with Dinosaurs project. But it is a really, really exciting medium to work with.
But these are Book of Spells and the two other projects that we've seen today are projects made specifically for this, right? From the ground up. But do you see a future where we see classic children fairy tales transformed into the Wonderbook style of exploring adventure like this?
I think as we build new titles and we learn more about the ways that we tell stories or the ways that we make you role play, you'll start to see different stories coming onto the book. But I think they'll be unique in the way that they're approached. I think you have to approach it as a Wonderbook project, if you like, and then take advantage of all the things that brings.
Where does the limits go right now for what you can do with Wonderbook? Because, again, while I was playing it, I was constantly amazed at for instance, the first time I had to, turn the book towards the camera to see down, just fully explore the picture that was being shown to me. It really surprised me. So where does the limits go right now?
I think it's really down to the creatives. It's down to the creatives to think about different ways that they can utilise the book and different ideas they have. We were really excited about having sort of hidden worlds within the book. And then there are hidden worlds around the book. So we actually create worlds around the book, and we can create things to scale. I mean, I think from a creative point of view, there's sort of lots of areas still to explore.
Anything you like to share?
there's lots of things that we will be exploring in the future, definitely. But I think the thing that we're really excited about is actually starting to collaborate with Disney and starting to explore the sort of stories we can bring to life for them. And again, you'll see new mechanics, I'm sure, with the Disney products.
You personally, do you see this not necessarily replacing the classic book or children's book, but do you see this as an equal to reading or exploring a children's book, exploring through Wonderbook, that is?
I think I see this as a way of exploring story in the same way that you explore story through a reading book or through watching a movie or for playing a game. And I think from a game development point of view, we bring our experience of telling stories interactively, and we look back to the traditions of book as to how they tell stories, and we're also influenced by film. So I think in itself it's quite unique when you take all those influences in. But I think you'll find lots of different ways of telling stories using the Wonderbook.